Okay. Why don't you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see that slideshow? All right. Good deal. And I'm giving away all the answers because I just kind of went through it. There we go. Okay. So like Trish said, my name is Nikki Darrington. I have a little blog / Facebook, Instagram page called the Hygge Hen. So if you guys have never heard of Hygge, I'll teach you a little bit about that in this presentation. But so basically tonight I'm just going to talk a little bit about making your homestead back into a home again. So again, like Trish said a little bit about me, I'm the District Conservationist for the NRCS in Watford. I was born and raised in Arnegard / Watford City. So I get to be in my home county, which is awesome. And married to my husband, Patrick. And we have 3 kids, Grayson, Gavin, and Graham. They're in 6th grade, 5th grade, and then 1st grade. So we are very much enjoying having those little kids right now. I also run Lone Tree Mercantile, which is my tux rental business. So I rent tuxes for any formal events like proms, weddings, and that kind of thing. But the whole time that I've been doing, being a mom, being a farmer's wife, the District Conservationist, I've always had just like this little itch to do something with organizing because I just really enjoy it. I really crave it. I love teaching people about it. And everyone would always ask me, how do you do this? How do you organize this? And so I always thought maybe one day I could do something along the lines of that. So back in 2019, right before the pandemic, my husband and I went to Dallas, Texas to go to a Vikings football game. And we actually rented a car and just drove up to Pawhuska, Oklahoma, where I got to go to the Pioneer Woman's mercantile. We got to tour her lodge, all that fun stuff. It was absolutely a wonderful trip. And it gave me so many ideas of things that I wanted to do. The whole way home, I was telling my husband of all the things I wanted to do. And he's like, you know, when are you going to have the time to do that? Yes. Time, something we always talk about, how busy we are, all the time we don't have, right? Here's a picture of my husband and I in the lodge where she tapes her show. So right where I'm standing there, that is where she stands when she tapes the show. So as you can see, I was a tad excited. I cried about the whole time we were in there because I just love her so much. But yeah, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And I've always wanted to have an outlet. Clearly, I'm not the pioneer woman. I like to pretend I am, but I'm not. But I wanted to have some sort of outlet to just show people the things that I love to do. And people always asked about it. So I thought, I'm just going to figure out a way to do this. So I kind of created the Hygge Hen on the plane ride home. I'll talk about Hygge in just a second, but hen came from because I love my chickens. And we'll go back to Hygge. But yeah, I came up with like this business plan of I'm going to have this blog and I'm just going to talk about all my organizational things. And then again, I was like, when am I going to have time to do this? And then a pandemic hit, something you never really thought would happen. And all of a sudden, all of my events for the next 3 months had been canceled and I had nothing on my planner anymore. So that's when I really started to implement Hygge Hen. And I started it in then March of 2020. So if you're not familiar with what Hygge is a Scandinavian Danish term used to acknowledge a feeling. So everyone's Hygge is different. My Hygge is, I love to sit out on my porch in the morning and listen to the birds and watch the sunrise. Like that is like what centers me. So it's something that gives you that warm, cozy feeling. It could be a thing like a blanket, it could be a candle, or it could just be a person, you know, it could be someone that makes you feel cozy. So I started studying Hygge back in 2018. We had a couple of friends that lost their children at a young age, and it was just really hard. Death is hard. It's going to funerals constantly is hard. And I talk about that. I went to 2 funerals this week, and my coworker has went to another funeral and another coworker went to another funeral. There's a lot of things like that going on right now. And we needed something in our life, in our in our family to center us. And so I started reading about Hygge and just bringing ourselves back to the simple things in life, like drinking out of a really cute cup and cuddling up in a blanket and watching nature. So the Hygge Hen was created, and I just wanted to spread positivity, because if you know me, I try to be positive. I don't dwell on negative things. I try to find happiness in everything and positivity. So yeah, I wanted to bring positivity more into our house. Maybe turn off the news some days and just let my kids have some happiness going on. So I ask you guys, what is your Hygge? And you can put it in the chat if you'd like. Everyone's is different. For NRCS and the Soil Conservation District, we have a women's night every year, much like Trish has had such success in her county. At our women's nights, we had one called a Hygge night, and we had went around our whole community and we videotaped people can't talk. We videotaped people on what their Hygge was. And every single person said something different. We had one person say playing with their ferret. And we had one person say going outside and petting their favorite cow. I mean, everyone has a different thing that makes them happy. And so it was very interesting to come up with that. Hygge is calming, love, peaceful, serene, quiet, cozy, tastes good. You know, eating a cake, eating a big old triple layer chocolate cake with gooey frosting like that. That's Hygge. That's Hygge right there, right? So when I created Hygge Hen, I created 4 different aspects. The first one is clean your coop, and I'm going to go through each one of these. Nice your nest, planting in the pasture, and sunny side up. So moving on, I want to let you guys know that I am very perfect. Okay, I never have laundry out. I think I put the wrong picture in here because this clearly, it couldn't be my house because I'm perfect. No, I'm not. I'm not perfect at all. I'm just sharing some of the things that work for us. But I want you guys to know I am a hot mess express as well. Same. You should always make your bed. Your mama told you so, right? This was me coming home one night, and I told my husband, my Hygge is coming home to a nice, comfortable room that's the bed is made. Sometimes my bed doesn't get made. I'm not perfect. I am not. I am insecure, overwhelmed, never know what to wear, and I use dry shampoo. That is me. Okay. So I'm going to start off with that. So you guys don't think that I'm just up here on my soapbox telling you how perfect I am, because I'm not. Okay. So we're going to start with clean your coop. Now, clean your coop has probably been the biggest part of Hygge Hen. The clean your coop portion of Hygge Hen is all things organizing, cleaning, getting rid of the clutter in your house and getting rid of the clutter in your mind and getting a system. Now, most of you people, because you're in the Grazing Coalition, is more than likely because you have a ranch and you have cattle, or you're farming, or you have chickens, you have pigs, sheep, all of those things. And you have a lot on your plate. You have a lot going on. One of the last things that you want to take up space in your mind is when you walk inside your house at the end of the day, after a long, hard day, you don't want the stress of that crazy cluttered house to wear you down. So over the past couple of years now, I've got to help people just find systems for them that can get rid of that clutter and keep their house a little bit more organized, so your brain can be a little bit less hectic as well. A lot of time I show this chart because it's very true. A lot of people just don't know where to start. One of the most leading causes of mental health weighing you down and anxiety is from clutter. And people don't really think of that. People think, it's the stress of your job, the stress of children, but a lot of it is there's just that long list of to do in your home and you just don't know where to start. And it makes you really sad. And I hate to see that. I hate to see people sad about that. I do this clean your coop challenge, and I am going to do another one starting in August 1st. I do it in August because I know perfectly well during harvest time, I'm not allowed to go anywhere. So I'm going to be home. So we're going to do another clean your coop in August. So if you guys want to join me, it's 30 days for $30. And I know that this chart says October 3rd. That's wrong. That was less. That was a couple of times ago. But we are going to have another one August 1st. What we do is for 30 days in a row, I give you a challenge. And sometimes it's decluttering your living room. Sometimes it's cleaning your fridge. So we've had a lot of fun doing this. And it's all over Facebook Live every single evening. And they're taped. So I think one of the things that people lack is a system that, people can't keep their lives going in a system oriented way. Everyone has a different way of getting through life. I use the Clean Mama method. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Clean Mama, but I actually have her homekeeping planner with me right now. And that's what's pictured here too. That's how I keep my menu plan. So I put my menu plans in here. I also write my grocery list in here. I write my use up list, which we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But this also has not only where to write my menu, but the Clean Mama planner has a list of the chores that I need to do every day. So every single day it says I need to make my bed, check my floor, wipe my counters, and pick up clutter every single day. And then it gives you little spaces to check it off. That has helped us tremendously. It also has weekly and monthly tasks. So you turn to the back of the book, like for instance, December, it says that in December, your focus is going to be the office. So then in December, I know I need to set aside some time to get my office gone through. This has really changed the way that we keep our house clean. I absolutely love Clean Mama. I used to do Fly Lady. I've paid attention to Go Clean Go on Instagram too, and those are very good systems too. So if you're looking for a different system to follow, those are some ones to look up. I created the Dive for 5 method, and we talk about this a lot in the Clean Your Coop challenge. Like I said, sometimes you just don't know where to start. And if you have a big pile of a mess, what I like to do is tell people to dive for 5. Physically set a timer. Set a timer on your phone and just go to town on that pile. That dive for 5, it gives you a strategy, like hard and fast, right? It's going to clear anxiety and stress if you get rid of that clutter and just clutter free your mind and clutter free the space. So in dive for 5, here's an example. This was my office after a day of during COVID working from home. I mean, things were everywhere. It was just an absolute mess. So I literally set a timer for 5 minutes, and here's what my office would look like right after. Just quick and fast, and 5 minutes, it can clean that up. And sometimes when you see a space that's so cluttered, you think it's going to take longer than 5 minutes. So you're like, I don't even have time to clean that right now. You'd be very surprised with the 5 fast minutes, what it can get you. Okay, so a lot of times when I talk about the dive for 5, I'll tell people to just do the piling method. So 5 minutes, go to town. Okay, here's pens. I'm going to put pens in the pen spot. Here's a garbage pile. I'm going to put the garbage here. Here's, I never use this tape dispenser. I'm going to put it in the sell pile or the giveaway pile. This tape dispenser or this stapler that I've had for years, it doesn't work. Throw it away. So if you pile everything, then you can look at that and be like, okay, now that pen pile, I'm going to put that with the pens. I'm going to put the stapler in the garbage. I'm going to put this in my sell pile. Creating piles like that can help clear your mind, and it makes you have a mental clarity on where things are supposed to go. Now, if you don't have a place for this item that you're looking for in the pile, or you're trying to find a spot for it, then ask yourself, do I really need it? If I do need it, why don't I have a place for it? So if you have a place for everything, it's easy to find it's easy to find that place to put it back away, right? Here's a picture of my storage room. And if you know me, this drives me crazy. I would love to spend hundreds of dollars and get all very pretty totes that all match. My husband said, no, I can't believe it. He did, however, ask me if I wanted them for Christmas, if he wanted to get me all matching totes for Christmas. And I said, if you get me totes for Christmas, you won't have to worry about buying me presents anymore. But anyway, this is my storage room. It's all labeled. It's fine. They don't need to be matching, but everything has a place. Now, a lot of people confuse Hygge Hen in my organizing for me to be minimalism. I am not a minimalist. Look at my storage room. I like stuff. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I like my stuff. I just have a place for all my stuff. So I know where things go. If I don't have a place for it, then I need to figure out a different situation. But in my storage room downstairs, it's in my basement. Everything has a place in there. Everything's labeled. The Christmas is one section. The Easter is all in another section. Up on top on the right there, that's all the American Girl doll stuff that my girls have sadly grown out of, but hopefully someday I'll have granddaughters to share it with. So I've saved all that. You know, everything has a place. So I know that when I go downstairs to my storage room, I know I can find what I'm looking for. I don't have to spend hours looking for something. A lot of people ask me, what do your junk drawers look like? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have a junk drawer. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I don't need a junk drawer, because everything has a place. Sometimes my husband chooses to think that my Ziploc drawer is a junk drawer, but it's not. I have to remind him of that sometimes, but everything has a place. So I don't have a junk drawer. I also, in my storage room, have a tote that I just have a big sign on there that says sell. And so whenever I find something that I don't need anymore, I put it in the sell tote. And when that tote gets full, I will sell some items. I will have a little rummage sale, and we'll talk about how I do my rummage sales also. Speaking of that, here it is. How I do my rummage sales, and if you guys have rummage sales and you go in town and you use the Civic Center or your own garage, I'm jealous and more power to you. I have never had luck with doing it that way. I have a personal rummage sale page that's just called Nikki's Online Rummage Sale, and I do everything from there. I think there's like 65 members of it, and all of them are trusted people that I trust to buy my stuff, that I know will pick it up and I know will pay me. We can do marketplace sometimes too for bigger items, absolutely, but this is what works for me. Some of the things that I want to say, how I price my things and how I sell my things, like I fold it out nice so I make people think that they're buying stuff from a store. If it looks like a nice picture and things are clean and nice and tidy and it's cute, people might think, oh, this is a nice boutique I'm buying from, right? Or if it's like one time my sister was selling I hate to throw my sister under the bus, but I'm going to. My sister was selling one of her kids' bikes on Facebook, and it was caked in mud. I mean, like a little boy's bike should look like, right? And I said, Jessica, no one is going to buy that bike. And she said, why? It's a nice bike. I said, yes, but you want a bike that looks like it's from the store, a brand new bike. I bet you if you go and spray that bike off, and then you try and sell it, I bet you'll sell it right away. She went and power washed that sucker and she sold it in 5 minutes. So it's all about presentation in these rummage sales. I tell you what, it's a mind game. So here's an example of what happens after I take pictures and do a rummage sale. I put everything in its lot. So every pile is a different picture or a different lot. And I sell things in different pictures, and I just post what it is, the size or what it is, and the price. And then I stack it all around my living room. And then once it's sold, I go and get a bag and I put all of the sold things for the one person in a bag, label it. And then I send them hey, thanks for shopping my rummage sale. When can we meet up? And it really works for me, and I get rid of a lot of stuff. Here is my list. I will write down what they bought. My finger is covering someone's name. And then I'll write down what they bought and the price, and then I'll send them a picture of that so they can see what they bought and their total price. And then arrange a time for them to pick up. And this has gotten rid of so much clutter in my house, and it is so helpful. And I probably do this twice a month, to be honest with you. I buy cheap decorations and I sell cheap decorations just as fast as I buy them, because I like to, if you ask my husband, he gets a little crazy with me, but I do like to change things in my house quite often. Okay, so that was a little bit about clean your coop. That was one of the things about Hygge Hen. I like to keep things organized and clean and declutter as much as I can, but everything having a place in my house has really helped us out a lot. Now we're going to move on to nice your nest. Nicing your nest. I like to decorate. I like to make spaces. I like to make experiences in my house. The picture on the left here is my sweet little boy, Graham, who loves to look at books and read. He doesn't really like to read. That's a lie. He likes to look at pictures. He, he unloaded the bookshelf here and it was a disaster. But as you can see, there was only one shelf left. There wasn't space for the books anymore. So I was like, all right, if these kids are going to be readers, I need to create a reading space for them. So the second picture here, you can see I painted the bookshelf black, and then I got some more containers for the top that could fit the rest of the books. So if they need extra books, they can pull one of those containers down. And then I made a little spot for them to sit and read. And that big pillow is a floor pillow. They can pull off and sit on the floor pillow. And now they have a reading nook to read in. So I went from that first picture down to the last picture just to make my house feel a little bit more cozy. I feel good about it. My kids feel good about it. And it's a functional space. People always ask me, what's your aesthetic when you decorate? I do not have an aesthetic. I would tell you it's farmhouse, shabby chic, boho, country western. I have no idea what any of those words mean. If I find something that I like, I put it in my house. I really like antiques and I really like things that mean things to me. Like right now I'm drinking out of a cup that my son scribbled on and made for me. It's adorable. I love it and I'll keep it forever. When my kids pick me dandelions, that's what's going in my house because I think that's so special. I love being in my kitchen. I love decorating my kitchen with things that my grandma and my grandpa had in their kitchen. That is what makes me happy, is finding things that make me happy to decorate with. Holiday decorating. I always try to decorate for the holidays. I'll tell you this, I didn't even put one stinking Easter decoration up this year. I don't know if it was the blizzard. I don't know what happened, but I completely lost it. And it was the day before Easter and my kid said, Mom, you haven't even decorated for Easter. And I thought, holy buckets, you are right. But what I do is I keep everything per holiday in a labeled tote. So as you can see, this was my fall decorating. And what I do is I take everything out of the totes and I go through my decorations at the beginning of the holiday and I pick out what I don't want anymore and I sell it on my Facebook page. I do that a lot. I just like to rotate decorations. And here's some just pictures of decorating. I buy my decorations at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, and a lot of secondhand stores. I don't buy expensive decorations. Like I said, I sell them cheap again. So that's just what works for me. And one of my favorite things is going to a secondhand store and buying decorations, maybe tweaking them a little bit to be a little bit more personable, but buying cheap and selling cheap is what I like to do. Okay, so that was a little bit about nicing your nest. Now we're going to talk about planning in the pasture, birthdays, anniversaries, calendars, and Christmas. My dad, I told you I went to a funeral this week. It was in Bismarck, and my dad went with me. And I said, do you want to drive, Dad? I have some things to do. And he's like, no, you drive. Well, I can help you out. So my dad held my planner open and we went through the week and the month together and we planned things. And I tell you what, he took that planner and he was like, oh my gosh, this is so stressful. I can't do this. It's like, oh, Father, he'll never drive with me again. That's for sure. And we went to Sam's Club too, and he'll never do that with me again either. Poor dad. My planner, I love having a planner, and I'm sure most of you guys have a planner also. So it's probably not something we really need to talk about, but the first of the month is one of my favorite days of the year. I love to sit down at the first of the month to make sure my whole month is planned out. Make sure I have the birthday present spot. Make sure I have the anniversary cards ready to go. I'll check my stockpile of gifts downstairs. Sometimes I have like a gift for a baby shower or a wedding. I'll have the same gift for the entire year. Graduation is coming up. I do the same gift for graduation every single year. So I know exactly what I'm going to get. I just make sure I have enough of them. So it's just something that's easier for me to do. I am trying to be very intentional this year. I'm trying not to say yes to everything that people ask me to do. I'm trying to just be more intentional, what aligns with our family's goals and our morals. For instance, Christmas baking this year. It's so easy these days to say, oh, I just don't have time. And I'm not saying everyone needs to Christmas bake. I'm just saying this for anything. We don't have time. We're too busy. My kids absolutely love to Christmas bake. If I would tell them we just don't have time this year, I can just tell like they would be disappointed. That's something that's a core memory for them. So I'm going to make sure that I have my Christmas baking day scheduled, and we're going to do it. And I'm going to have a day that I'm going to schedule my wrapping. I usually take a day off from work just to wrap all my presents. It's like a Nikki day that I watch Hallmark Christmas movies and I wrap my presents. Best day ever. But I just try to be more intentional. And when you do that, I feel like you can really get ahead. This is just kind of something I threw in there. It's fun to always have kind of a tradition of some sort. I'm really into traditions. My mom made me this tree skirt, and every single year since she made it in 2018, we trace our kids' handprints on them. So 10, 20 years from now, it's going to have all these years of their handprints and how they've grown and how they've helped decorate for Christmas every single year. So I just think that's so darn cool. I get emotional when I talk about my kids because I was so excited to be a mom. And there's one point in my life that I didn't think I was going to get to be a mom. We were having trouble having babies. And so when I got to finally, I try to take advantage of it. Am I a perfect mom? Oh gosh, no. There's so many things I do wrong. I have no clue what I'm doing most of the time. But I will tell you this, I am going to buy the PJs. I am going to make them wear them, and I am going to take the pictures. Yes, ma'am, I will. Sometimes I get too upset. Sometimes I'm not the best mom, but I just try every single day because we only get 18 short years with these babies before they move out of our house. I hope mine stay forever. My husband disagrees with that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then the last thing that I want to talk about in Hygge Hen is the sunny side up portion. Baking, cooking, meal prep, snacks, and packed lunches. Annie, I wish I could have been on last week and listened to your meal prep or meal planning, because I love hearing other people's ideas and advice. So like Trish said, she's going to post that and I'm going to watch that right away. But I love to bake. I love to cook. I love to try new recipes. I love to pack lunches for my kids, all the things. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about how we make things work in our family with meal prep and all that stuff. So here's a picture of my fridge when it was super clean one day. Every single Sunday, I clean my fridge out. Every Sunday. It's like a hard and fast rule in my life. Every Sunday, I clean my fridge out. And I don't take like all the condiments out every single Sunday, but everything in the middle of the fridge, I take it out. On Sundays is my planning day. So I'll take everything out of the fridge and I'll make my use up list. And what a use up list is everything that's going to go bad pretty soon. I need to make sure that I make a recipe and use that item up. Otherwise, you're wasting money. You're, wasting resources, basically wasting food. And so I try to make use of every single dollar in grocery that I buy and put in that fridge. Okay. So for example, I remember this day because I had a lot of use up things. I had a huge bag of carrots that I got on sale and I had not used them. So I had to think of ways, how can I get rid of these carrots? How can I use them up? And that's how I make my menu plan. So then I sit down with my calendar and I say, okay, Monday night, we don't have anything, so I can make a longer recipe. I've got a lot of mushrooms, carrots, and celery. Maybe I should make a soup. Maybe I should make like a double batch of soup and freeze one of them because I have so many of the ingredients. So using that use up list, not only am I making use of the money and the time I've put into the fridge and the groceries that I've had for my family, but I'm making a meal plan that makes sense for our family. Again, like I said, I love to try new recipes. I try to, for one of my meals every week when I make my meal plan, I pick out one of my cookbooks and I'll just go to like the meal section and I'll just open the page and I will make that menu. And if it's something really wacko, I will cheat and go to the next page. But most of the time I try to make what I turn it to. I do have a freezer inventory and I get made fun of for this a lot. So don't think I'm a weirdo for doing this, but I will tell you, friends, I have saved so much money doing a freezer inventory. And why? Because if I needed to make a hot dish and I needed hash browns and I didn't know that I had a bag of hash browns in my freezer, I'm going to go buy another bag. And then that other bag is going to get freezer burnt and you're going to end up throwing it away. So if I have a freezer inventory, I know what I have in my freezer at all times. And I have 3 freezers. I mean, we've got a beef, we've got a pork, we've, all that stuff in there. But I have 3 freezers full of food. So I need to know what's in them so I don't waste more money. We used to spend so much money on groceries until I adopted the use up method 2 years ago or 3 years ago now. And we have cut our grocery bill in half by doing this. So it really, really helps. I stock up on sale items, if frozen fruit is on sale, which that can be so expensive sometimes. Boy, do I stock up on that because we love to have smoothies and that kind of stuff. Parties and reunions, so much fun to plan. I love to plan for those things and make lots of fun foods. I have staple meals. As you can see in this picture right here, my dill pickle pasta, delicious. I love it. I make it for all of our reunions and all of our events. That's what I always bring. I love to make banana bread. I constantly have frozen bananas in my freezer. If they go bad, I stick them in the freezer. And when I get enough, I'll make couple loaves of banana breads. I love to have emergency meals in my freezer. When a neighbor is sick or you've had a tragedy, a new mom, any kind of thing like that. We just had it wasn't just, I shouldn't say that. It was a couple months ago now, but our friend's house burnt down and it was terrible. We got the news at 7:15 in the morning that their house was burning down. And what do you do? What can you say? What can you do? That's awful, awful news. And so I went to my freezer and I grabbed a banana bread and a hot dish and I brought to them. And she still talks about it to this day. And it was not even it's something that my mom taught me. So it's just something that I do. But just that simple little thing made that person's day. And it's just something that you can do. That's something I can do that I can try and help. I don't know. It's just something that makes me feel good when people do that for me. Okay, I have rambled on enough. I tend to do that. So this date is wrong on here also. It's August 1st is when my next Clean Your Coop challenge starts. So if you guys are ever interested in doing that, just message me and let me know. And I will get you on my list, but it's $30 for the 30 days and it'll start August 1st. I'm on Instagram at Hygge Hen and then Facebook as Hygge Hen also. And just join me on there. We do fun things all the time. So thank you again, Trish, for asking me to talk. I had such a nice time and I appreciate it very much. So thank you.
Yep, had to get myself unmuted there. Thank you, Nikki. It was everything I thought it would be and more. So, so what I'd like to do is open it up for questions or comments, or if you want to share, anything with the group. That's kind of what we've done in the past here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, not in the middle of the presentation this time.